Go east. The imp appears in front of you just before you can leave the room. It forms miraculously into a wall, blocking the door to the east. On the wall is written, "Go play somewhere else, dork." Okay, I will. Can I leave now? Let's try to go west. You're in the wizard's study. On the west side of the room is the wizard, sitting in front of his chair by the fire. Next to him rests a crystal ball with a crack in it on the table. I will update my map. Okay, let's look at the crystal ball. The swirling mists within would be a whole lot more mystic if it wasn't for the crack in it. You could try to use it though and see if it works. Okay. You stare deep into the ball, vainly trying to discern a shape in the silvery smoke that fills the orb. Wait a second. The mist is parting. There is a gigantic eye staring at you, rimmed and posing blue flash. It seems to be trying to tell you something. Ow! You've been kicked in the shins by the imp who you suddenly realize was looking at you through the ball. For good measure, he walks over to you, kicks you in the shins again and hands you a little card. The card says, "The ball's broken, moron. Guess by the damn crack." The imp then leaves the room on its never-ending battle to clean up a tiny portion of the whole mess. Okay. Look at Talanis. The short, practically bald-headed man is wearing robes with a few burn holes scattered around his wrists. He is a strange-looking guy. His face suggests a thin man, his arms a fat one, and the robes can't tell you anything about his torso. Maybe that's for the best. And oh yes, you can tell why there are burn holes near his wrists. Sparks are dancing around his fingers, which are shaking spasmodically as he speaks. As he speaks, but he isn't talking. Yet. You address the mage. The magician turns to you, mumbling to himself and the world in general. You greet the mage. Huh? Well, hello as well. Guess it can't hurt for you to visit. You seem pretty bored though. I'm working on a project. Maybe you can help me. That sounds very busy, like a busy mage. I was just looking around and I saw your house, Mr. Fizzlevist. That's Fizzlevist. Guess by the name. The sparks grow deeper as he gestures. I don't know by the name. Am I supposed to know that? I'll just update my map and write down Fizzlevist. Okay, and what does he do for a living? Yeah. He's probably not a mage, right? What are you doing, you inquire? The usual magical stuff? Well, mostly. They kicked me out of Ximax. Fine. I'll walk around the woods for a few weeks, no problem. Then I build this place and suddenly all of creation shows up. What do you want anyway? They've kicked you out of Ximax, the magical academy? Ximax, yes. Oh, occasionally torture someone to relieve your irritation at your job? Your archmage material. Blow the whistle on them. It doesn't matter what you're working on. They won't let you show your face again. That and the business with the flying monkeys. So now I'm here. What was that about the flying monkeys? Oh yes, great idea of mine. Make great scouts. Taste more like chicken than chicken, and all they need are winged bananas. Too bad about that initiate though. What initiate? What happened to the initiate? The mage eyes you sternly. You just don't want to know, he says slowly, finishing with a piercing look. Hold on, did you say something about torture? How did you learn that? Ha! Hard to ignore when you're on the receiving end. Oh, sure, they might have said they kicked me out because poor Fizzler-Fist finally cracked, because he started singing heathen songs while running in and out of the laundry pool. But we know the reason, don't we? Guess so, you say dubiously. Thelanis looks something up in a book, then throws some powder into a potion he's preparing. He turns around and sees you standing there watching him. Surprised to see you still there, he nearly spills the potion. You're still here? Fizzler-Fist asks with a frown. So he was tortured while he was in the academy and then he was kicked out? Really? That's horrible. Just out of interest, is Nepris a special place for a magician like you? You think that maybe with a few clever questions you can get something out of the wizard that's helpful to your secret mission? What do you mean? Helena snorts back. Has the esteemed Magical Academy of Ximax asked you to look into some suspicious matters taking place on the Manthrian East Coast, No, definitely not. You quickly fend off the accusation. Thought so, the wizard says. No reason to investigate anything anyway. The wizard has such a bitch voice. Sorry for using a bad word. But what about these weird things in front of your house, you stammer? Like what? What with the craters, you ask? Collateral damage, unavoidable when doing some serious spellcasting, Helena says. What's with those glowing rocks, you inquire? What about them? The wizard answers. They caused the craters, of course. And now go and do something useful. Something useful, like related to the project you were talking about? You mentioned something about a project? Glad you asked. You saw my knock at the door?